Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and I'm coming to you with a video tonight about some upcoming projects, and man, do I have a lot of projects upcoming on the main channel and a lot of people to thank. But before I do, I want to let you guys know that I know some of you are subscribed to me here on the Texas Gun Vault, and you found my channel because of my rant videos about the pistol brace amnesty registration and all the fear mongers out there. Well, I have my latest update video over on my main channel. So if that's what interests you, go over to the main channel, which there's a link in the description, the Texas Gun Vault. Go over there, check it out, and watch that video. It's a non-fear-mongering video about the approval of my pistol that became an SBR now, and trying to answer all of the frequently asked questions. I also hope that you guys are interested in the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week returning to YouTube. It was originally on my original channel. You guys know what happened there. And I have decided to put all of my gun content, gun reviews on the main channel, the Texas Gun Vault, and keep the Texas Gun Vault 2 as a place where I put all of my, of course, behind the scenes stuff like I'm doing now, my upcoming projects, but also put all of my produced commentary videos. So if it's a poll question of the week, and I hope to start doing a news segment as well as interview segments with people. So that's all going to be here on this channel. I'm really getting things organized, and I love how it's turning out. But speaking of how things are turning out, I just kicked my camera tripod there. I want to thank some people because you guys know everything that recently happened with my main channel, and I'm rebuilding. And let me tell you, I am putting in hours and hours of work to do it right, keep it organized. And even though I'm the one that films all these videos and takes the time to do this, even if nobody watches, I still couldn't do this without the help and support of people that support me. And you guys know I always talk about and thank those people. And the list, honestly, is too long to name. The people that have donated things to the channel, donated money to the channel, that have been my ammo sponsors. You guys know all that stuff. But being that this is a upcoming projects video, I have to thank the people that lend me such amazing guns. I mean, I think I have a pretty decent collection of firearms, and I can make more content with it. In fact, I have a few things on my list of my own personal collection that I need to bring out, shoot and review, or do like from the vault videos with. But there are people that lend amazing pieces of their collections for me to review and shoot. And I have a whole bunch here on the table. In fact, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guns on the table tonight. Now, when I did my last video about this, I've already filmed all those videos. They're all up, but of course, because I'm releasing all of my old content, you'll kind of see it sprinkled in the next month or two. And of course, as I finish these, my Patreons get to see all of this content early. As soon as I make it, the day that I upload it, the day I edit it, they get to see it. But I want to go over these and thank the people that continuously make all of this possible, because honestly, I am humbled beyond words. I could not do this without them. So we're going to start off with my good friend Jack. You guys know he lends a lot of awesome guns to the channel. He recently picked up the new Smith & Wesson M&P 5.7. Now, I am really interested in this pistol. I like the 5.7x28 cartridge. I love the FN 5.7. I was on the Ruger 5.7. It was okay. But the Smith & Wesson, I really think, has done a nice job with this. I love their M&P line, and I love the fact that this uses a rotating barrel. You guys know I love the different actions of firearms, and I'm fascinated with how they work. This one uses a sleeved barrel, so this is a threaded sleeve, and the barrel itself moves inside that sleeve, and it actually is rotating, so that's how it unlocks. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if I'm going to get this in view here. I think you can kind of see it there. Actually, yeah, it comes across really well. You can see how that barrel rotates right there. That is really different and really interesting, and I'm curious how accurate it is with it being in that sleeve and with the threaded barrel. So Jack said this is 1/2x28, so we know that you can put on 22 suppressors that are rated for 5.7. So that is really cool. And the magazines, I believe, hold 22 rounds. That is more than the Ruger and more than the original FN 5.7. So I love this caliber, and this might be a gun that I really want to get. The one thing I was curious about when I picked it up was the gap between the frame and the slide. Now, I know when I saw Mr. Guns and Gear post about it, in fact, you can see it right there, right up here in the front. That's a pretty big gap, but it's even from the front to the rear. On the one that I've seen pictures of, the gap was not even, and I didn't like the way that that looked. And I was worried. I don't like how big that gap is as it sits, simply because you can have so much particulate and things get in the gun. But this one looks pretty good. You don't notice it as much as I've seen in other pictures. And even though it is not a compensated barrel, I really do like these lightning cuts here in the front. That's really cool. So the slide seems to be pretty smooth on this, and I can tell you that the trigger is outstanding. So I'm excited to shoot that. So thank you, Jack, for lending that to the channel. Let's now go to my good friend Ken. Ken always has awesome SIGs and some Milsurp stuff. He let me recently borrow a M1 Garand. I know some people say it's the M1 Garand. I know that. But I have two awesome pistols, SIG pistols, and another Milsurp rifle. So let's take a look here at the SIG P229. This is the Equinox. This one has that Legacy slide on. I'm not a big fan of the Legacy slide. There you go. I'm mispronouncing things today, but the Legacy slide, kind of a tongue twister. I like those serrations to go all the way to the top of the slide. And what's interesting too about this is the top of the slide is kind of milled out. So it's silver or in the white. And I don't know how that would be reflective if you're looking down the sights. You don't really see it, I guess, but I'm kind of surprised they have that, because if you're shooting outside, that might actually, I don't know, distract you. But I love the 229. I love these SIG P-Series pistols. Yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. And one of these, he said, originally did not come with the SRT trigger, but he had it put in. So both of these 229s have the SRT trigger, which I do like. So that's the 229. I believe this one is in, 9mm. And here's the other 229. And that one is pretty, isn't it? Look at that. And this is the 229 Elite. And this one has that, I guess, the regular slide that I really like. So we have the serrations that go all the way to the top. We have the larger extractor, where I think the other one has the smaller extractor. I think I prefer the larger extractor a little bit better. And I like the fact it also has front cocking serrations, as you can see up there. So this is the Sig Sauer Elite, obviously in stainless steel. Look at those beautiful, beautiful grips on that. So I'm excited to see how these shoot, because I love the 228, which is the predecessor to these. And the 229 actually has a pretty good history with U.S. law enforcement agencies here in the United States. The Secret Service carried a 229 and 357 SIG. And I know that if you're a big fan of television, the show NCIS, they carry 229Rs chambered in 40. So actually it's 229Rs, which means it has the rail, but it's the DAK, which stands for Dual Action Kellerman. So these, I believe, are just the standard single action, double action. But the dual action Kellerman I've never shot. But some people say it's really good, mainly designed for law enforcement. It's kind of a double action only trigger, but it's really light on the take up. So we have this SIG. And the other gun he lent to the channel is a Lee Enfield rifle. Now this one was made in 1943. Now, this is a rifle that I don't really have a lot of information on. I mean, I can go look it up. I'm going to have to before I do the review. Obviously chambered in, what is it? Is it 303 British? So I got to look all this up. And Ken also lent me some ammo for this. So this is a type of rifle that I really have no experience with. I do like bolt action rifles, but never shot anything this old. Being from 1943, this thing may have seen some action in World War II. So I'm really excited to shoot this thing. I'm really excited to learn everything I can about it and share that knowledge. You know, there's so much about guns and the history of guns that you just can't remember it all. Or you can't, I don't know, just learn it all. And that's what I love about this. And so I'm going to learn all I can, go watch and read about this. I got to figure out what exact model it is and what the features are. I know there's a whole ton of people that love Lee Enfield rifles, and these things have a rich, rich history. So, yeah, I'm really excited to get this to the range. Little World War II Milsurp rifle action. So thank you, Ken, on that. That is awesome and definitely very, very different. I like the fact that this one is not sporterized. It seems to be original. So that's awesome. And then last, I want to thank my good friend D. And you guys always say that D has an amazing collection because D buys the latest and greatest. I mean, hands down, if it's the coolest thing out there right now in the moment, D gets it. And he lends it to me to try out. Because otherwise, I would not get to shoot these and review these. So let's go over the pistols first. We have another Atlas Gunworks 2011 pistol. This is the Artemis, stainless steel. This one does not have the compensator, but it has that little island in the front where the front sight is. And this is a heavy, heavy pistol. So I have a feeling this thing is going to recoil, well, probably not recoil at all. I mean, they barely have any recoil whatsoever, but with the weight of this, it's probably going to be pretty darn sweet. And I got to say, the Atlas Gunworks, I think, are some of the best 2011s you can buy. So this is going to be really cool. I think I've done the Athena and the Nyx, and now I'm going to have the Artemis. And let me tell you, the triggers on these are just amazing. Amazing. So the Atlas Gunworks Artemis, which is kind of cool too, because that's the same name as the new NASA program trying to get us back to the moon. Then we have another 2011 pistol, and this one is from a company I had never heard of. I got to look at the bottom here. It's Fowler Industries. Fowler Industries. And Dee was telling me that this particular company tries to be, I guess, in the price point and the quality, which is above Staccato, but below Atlas Gunworks. So that's kind of where this one fits. I'm really impressed with all of the little detail work on the barrel. You can see we have these cutouts and up here as well. So it's very fluted. The gun's pretty heavy, but the barrel's fluted. I guess that's kind of weird. Like you want the gun heavy and then they do that to kind of lighten it up. Or maybe it's just for looks. He has a lot of great machining on the slide. I do like this grip module. It's the grip modules that are more, I guess you can see it has like little circle indentations on it, like little divots. One of the complaints I have with many of the Atlas Gunworks and the Staccatos is they use this particular grip texture that has more of the diamonds. This is pretty aggressive. And I already know my wife is not going to like this particular grip module because she never likes these grip modules. And for me too, they're very aggressive. I don't know. It's almost too aggressive. For me, even with sweaty hands, something like this and these divots really does the job. This is not going to slide or move around at all, but it's way more comfortable. So I'm really excited about this one. I kind of wish that they would have marked the side of the slide with more information. He just has FI up here for Fowler Industries, and all the information is on the bottom with the serial number. So it kind of looks a little bit plain, but it'd be cool if they had their logo or something to that on the side. But if you like guns that are kind of plain, this is really the way to go. And I'm really impressed looking at it that even the slide stop is milled out. As you can see, the detail on this is really impressive. The one thing I'm surprised about it, though, is that this has smaller controls. Most of these 2011s have these gigantic controls, as you can see, right there, right here. They're just gigantic. And the Fowler Industries has kind of a standard size 1911 size safety. So you might like that. I kind of do, because sometimes I feel those other safeties are just a little bit too big. And let me see what the trigger pull is on this. Let me just make sure our chamber is empty. A little bit more mushy than the Atlas. I still think it's going to be really, really nice. So we have that. And then we have two ARs. One is in 5.56. Really, it's chambered in 2.23 Wild, which is kind of a hybrid between 5.56 and 2.23, but can chamber both. And this is the Nemo, I guess is the company. Let me see what the actual model number is. This is the model Battle Light 1.0, made by Nemo Arms in Nampa, Idaho. So these are billet uppers and lowers. Lots of machine work on those, as you can see, finished in kind of a gold color. I'll have to look up what that color is. And I really like these Tango Down grips that he put on these. I love vertical foregrips. And the one thing I'm really surprised about the Nemo is that these handguards are really, really wide. One of the things and fads I've noticed in the AR world is that they go to thinner and thinner and thinner handguards. And this one is pretty darn wide, wider than just about any other handguard I think I've ever handled. But it's really light, really light. So this one is just a Nemo Arms, a lot of detail and a lot of the small parts. I love the color, the finish. I mean, it just looks really, really, really nice. And I will say, when I have run the action on this, that is smooth as butter. That is really impressive. So I can see that the bolt carrier is, it looks like nickel boron coated. I don't think it's chrome, I think it's nickel boron. Because I have a nickel boron bolt carrier group as well in my Home Defense SBR, and it looks like this. It has the same texture and color, especially after shooting it and cleaning it. But man, that thing just runs like butter. And let me see what the trigger pull on this is like. It has one of those flat face triggers. Not a big fan of that, but oh my gosh, that is so light. And he has an ACOG on this. Man, look at that, ACOG with a RMR. That is pretty darn sweet. All right, and then we got the final gun that I'm going to be reviewing here. So let me carefully put this down, move this. Let's get this one up. And here we go. It is another Nemo. And take a look at that one. This one is in some type of blue finish. And let's see what it says on the model number on this one. It says the Battle Light 1.0. So it's still an AR-15 style upper and lower. So it's not an AR-10. But this one is chambered in 6 arc. So I have never shot this caliber, and D was nice enough to give me, I think, like 120 or 140 rounds for this. Now, this gun is really designed for long range, so I am definitely going to find time to go on the longer range and review it there. So this is not one I'm probably going to do standing up. This one will have to be a special review where I'm not going to run it fast. This is supposed to be a more of like a dedicated marksman's rifle, so I'm going to review it from that standpoint. I might do a little bit of shorter range work, just trying to hold it, see what the weight is, because this thing is definitely heavy and beefy with this gigantic handguard. And take a look at this muzzle brake on it. Woo, 18-inch barrel. Yeah, look at that. The thing is huge. And obviously he has a beautiful Night Force scope on this. And I have fallen in love with these. So this is going to be one amazing gun to review. So those are the 8 firearms that people have lent to the channel. And as you can see, these things are awesome, rare, cool, and expensive. And it means a lot to me that people trust me to review their guns. And of course, these are people that have lent guns to the channel, and they see that when I get done with them, I take them apart, I clean them, and I try to get them back to their owners in better shape than what they lent them to me. So I take a lot of pride in that because I am humbled and honored. And so I want to thank Jack and Ken and Dee for this opportunity. So that's what I have on the table. A lot of stuff going on. I hope you guys are enjoying the new revamped channel on the main channel, and like what I'm doing here on the Texas Gun Vault too. And as I told you, when one door closes, another door opens. And I am I guess you could say, depending on your interactions with me, I would say I'm either an unstoppable force or an immovable object. In this case, I want to think I'm an unstoppable force because I'm going to make the Texas Gun Vault bigger and better than it ever was. And I'm real proud of what I'm doing. So there you go. Once again, go over to my other channel. If you're not subscribed there, please go subscribe there, especially if you like guns. And let me know if you like what I'm going to do with this channel. Make it more into the behind the scenes, the commentary, and do more produced segments here. And I guess that is it. And I hope you guys enjoy the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week. Some of them are a little bit outdated. I try to be as clear as I can in the title that it's a re-upload. I put it in the description. And as a pinned comment going, okay, I know this is old, but you get to see the progression of how it began. So it was kind of fun for me. I've had to edit a couple of them, but just to make them YouTube approved, but I don't think it affects the overall quality. So let me know what you think. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for going on this journey with me to make the Texas Gun Vault great again and better than it ever was. So, as always, thanks for watching.